Hi guys, Billy back, and this time we're going to be looking at the Zeus Toys 1/12 scale Scream figure, just in time for Halloween as well. So let's just have a quick look at the packaging itself, and as we can see it actually comes in a sort of nice tin packaging. However, there are a couple of flaws. There is a dent just up in the top right hand corner here from shipping, and there is a massive air bubble in the middle of the sticker that's on the front of the actual tin, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. And yeah, as you can see, it's by Zeus Toys. I've never heard of them. I have a funny feeling that they're very, very new to the market. Oh look, there's a code there, ZT001. So yeah, this is the first figure they've ever actually made. May even be their last, who knows. But yeah, simple packaging, simple silver metal tin. That is it, nothing special, but it does actually look quite classy, I think. Quite nice, but it feels like an adult collectible, shall we say. Okay, let's just open up the tin itself. There you pop it open, and oh, what's this? Oh, give me some sort of card inside. Is there a business card? Let's have a look and read. I can't read any of that, I'm afraid. So yeah, it's oh blimey. Oh, is this some sort of, have they cursed me? Have they actually cursed me? Is this the end of 1/6 Cave? Looks like they're gonna, what is this? Looks like, oh, there's a crazy guy on the front there with some sort of a butcher's knife from the looks of it. It looks like he's slaughtering people. Okay, it's over some blood-drenched dumplings maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's some sort of horror game that you can play in China or something, and they sent this out as a sort of like a oh thank you type thing. Who knows, it might even be super rare, eh? That'd be nice, eh? They ended up accidentally sending me a super rare card, like a baseball card, and I can make £1 million on it. I can finally retire. And this is the foam top just here. Take that off, and inside we can see the figure itself. And that's about it really. I don't think there's any other layers. There's no stand or anything. It's just a 1/12 scale clothed figure, a bit like a Mezco 1/12 figure. So let's get it all out and have a look at it outside of the packaging. Okay, and here he is just straight out of the box, and we can see that he's definitely 1/12 scale. He is a very small figure, but he looks pretty cool considering this is like an unlicensed third-party thing. I actually quite like what they've done with this figure. There are a few flaws here and there, but we'll get to those in a minute. As you can see, accessories wise, he comes with a gripping hand, a fisted hand. He comes with two sort of relaxed hands here, and he also comes with sort of like a more expressive spread out hand, just like this. And the details in the hands are pretty good. They are fairly well sculpted, and they do actually look like gloves rather than just painted hands. I like those. And he comes with two variants of the knife, and as you can see, it's pretty good. It's a shame they didn't actually paint the handle black. That would have been nice. However, if it's going to be held in his hand, you're not really going to see the handle much anyway. But yeah, it's very nicely painted, well sculpted, and it's got sort of like nice sort of chrome shine. It does look like metal. It is a shame. They could have probably done this with die cast. That would have been cool. But yeah, no, these are just plastic. And this is the other one, the bloody knife. So you can have some fun recreating some of the scenes from the movie. Only thing I would have liked to see him come with more is like the little voice changer that he holds up to his mouth when he's talking on the phone, or even a mobile phone, which would have been super handy as well. But as it is, for the price you're paying, it's actually not that bad. And coming in, having a look at the head sculpt, we can see that it's definitely the killer from Scream, but yeah, there's a slight sort of shine to it to make it look very plastic, which I know the point of the movie was that it was like a Halloween toy mask type thing, but yeah, it is a little bit too shiny. I might get some matte paint on that and just knock down the shine a little bit. But yeah, overall it does definitely look like the character. I think the mouth is a little bit long and thin, as are the eyes. Very fractionally, but just a little bit thin. But once you put the hood up, you can see that, yeah, it actually looks like the character. Now some of the flaws I've noticed is in the hood. The lip of the hood just up the top here sort of sticks out with the fabric. Just put a light on to show you, but there is a little bit of fabric up the top here that sort of pushes down, and you can see it's a bit messy and it can get in the way and look a bit sloppy, but it's not that bad. There's an exposed bit of metal wire just at the bottom of the hood here, which is a shame. But again, it's nice that they've actually put a metal wire in there so you can sculpt and move it around to reshape it and get it how you like it. Articulation wise, I really like this guy. He has quite a bit of articulation in the head. He can pivot quite a lot, move around, lots of rolling. Yep, there is lots and lots of movement in the head. And then coming down into the arms, the shoulders. The arms can go all the way up, straight up in the air. There is a butterfly joint that is super flexible. So you can get the arms all the way in like that, all the way across, which is really cool. There is a bicep swivel. There is a double bend in the elbows, and the wrists are on wrist pegs. Torso, he has a joint in the upper chest and the waist, so you can get the body all the way back. He can twist a hell of a lot because of this sort of really loose clothing. Sadly, because of the shroud, his legs can't Van Damme it. It's also difficult to get his legs forward and up because of the restrictions in the costume. However, if we pull this up, you can see there is a thigh swivel. Their legs can go out quite far if it wasn't for that costume. There is double jointed knees. There's a hell of a lot of generous ankle pivot considering they are boots. The details in the costuming is quite nice. I mean, there isn't a lot to this figure really, so I wouldn't expect it to be anything other than pretty good. He's got the tassels at the arms, which look really good. He's also got the tie at the waist here, and then he's also got the little bits at the bottom of his costume, just jaggedy pieces just sort of sitting there. Now they are curling up a bit, but because the costume is technically supposed to be quite a hokey costume anyway, it doesn't take away from the aesthetic at all. In fact, I think it adds a little bit to it. Sadly, there is no weathering that I can see, but if we have a look at the sculpting on the boots themselves, they're reasonably okay. I wouldn't say they're anything to write home about. You wouldn't go, oh my god, the detail on these 112 boots, they're not Mezco quality, that's for sure, but they're fairly functional, and because they're mostly hidden by the garment anyway, it doesn't really matter. The fabric is also kind of like a black stretch fit sort of style fabric, so it drapes pretty nicely off the figure itself, and once he's got his arms up, you can see those streamers hang down pretty confidently, and the material isn't too thick, especially for this figure. I think they've actually made a good choice with the fabric, maybe by accident, who knows, but it's definitely not too thick. It's very thin and it does actually work, and as you can see, as I'm trying to hold it up, it doesn't let the light through, so it's not too thin either, which is really good. Okay, and here he is next to the Mezco 112 horror icons, and you can see he fits in nicely with this range. Michael Myers towers over him, as he should, as does Jason. Freddy is kind of a bit more on par with his height, as well as Evil Dead Ash Williams. I absolutely am glad I ordered this guy. He fits in perfectly with my collection, and because he's got all the articulation in that upper body, including some amazing butterfly joints where his arms can pretty much cross over unimpeded, I have to say he's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to pose. And because he is such a self-aware character, he's a bit like Beetlejuice and Deadpool and people like that. You can just put him anywhere and just have endless amounts of fun with the character. And if we just move everything over a little bit, sorry Mike, you're going to have to get out of the way. I'll put him next to Bullet Head's V for Vendetta figure, which is a different range completely. But as you can see, he also fits in pretty nice with that character as well. Okay, the flaws that I find are that the mask can be a little bit too shiny and plastic, something that's an easy fix with a little bit of matte clear paint. The hood actually has a little bit of a lip of fabric sticking out, which it's not the greatest, but it's something that can be fixed. And there's also a tiny bit of wire in the hood that is exposed. I've kind of got it hidden with the mouth at the moment, but it still pokes through from time to time and it will catch your eye. And there is a distinct lack of weathering in and around the boots and the sort of lower part of the garment and stuff. But other than that, for half the price of a Mezco figure, you can't really argue. And I'm really glad I bought this, because he's going to fit in perfectly with my Mezco 1/12 collective horror icons line. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. If you do me a favour now, if you can get the fuck out of my cave and then go trick-or-treating, and then go out, pick up as many of the Bounty chocolate celebrations that you can get, and then bring them all back to me because I love Bounty, I would be truly grateful. Yeah, you heard me right, I like bounties. Sue me.